Hey there, planners. I guess you can probably tell what I'm going to be talking about today. So I have been using the same two pens forever. I use in my Stylogy A5 bullet journal, I use a Muji 0.38 pen all the time. And this is a fantastic pen. I have used this pen for years. I love this pen. I do wish they lasted a little longer, but maybe that's because I write so much with it. But I love this pen and I love this size. The other pen I use for everything else is a Sharpie S Gel 0.7. And this came out earlier this year or late last year, I can't quite remember, but I love this pen. It is the smoothest pen I have ever written with. I've tried the 0.5 size, not as much of a fan. I also even have it in blue in the 0.7 size, and I love it. It's a great pen. So there's nothing wrong with these pens. I'm just getting a little restless with these pens. And so over the course of the last month or so, I have been collecting new pens that I want to give a try. Now, some of these are brand new to the market. Some of them are just new to me. I thought today I would go through kind of opening and testing and playing with these pens and see how I like them and if any of them are a potential to become my new favorite for a little while. So with that, go grab your planners and let's get planning. So I thought we would start with this new Sharpie. So this is a Sharpie Pen Stylo Roller pen. So it's supposed to be, according to the package, engineered for precision, always vivid writing, and it actually comes with one red, one blue, and two blacks. The size of this pen, it is a needlepoint pen, and it comes, this one is a 0.5. So I'm used to using the Muji 0.38 and the Sharpie S Gel 0.7. So I thought this might be an interesting kind of in-between size to try. So let me get this package open and then we will do some pen testing. All right, so the first thing I'll say is very smooth on the outside. I love that there is the clip here like this. I find these clips, these metal clips, to be a little bit more sturdy than the plastic ones, and they really do allow for hooking on to that pen loop very easily. So I'm actually excited about that. So let me just start with giving a pen test of the Sharpie S Gel 0.7. Yeah, so that really is just such a smooth writing pen. I have loved these pens and I seem to go through them very quickly. I also have family members in the house who love these pens, and so I have to hide them to keep them from disappearing in the night. So here is the Sharpie Roller 0.5. Let's see, you can see the needle tip. I'll zoom in so you can get a look at that, the needle point on the pen. So let's see how this baby writes. Okay, this is a really nice writing pen. It is very smooth and it comes out almost like a felt tip pen. Just really, really smooth writing. I like it a lot. I'll say that I can't really tell a whole lot of difference because of the needlepoint and how smoothly the ink flows out of the pen. I can't really tell a whole lot of difference between the size, between the Sharpie S Gel 0.07 and the Sharpie Roller 0.05. To me, the 0.05 in this pen almost is a little bit thicker than the S Gel. So for that reason, I would probably use this for everything except writing in my Stylogy. The Stylogy's paper is thin, and while it does absorb ink wonderfully, I do like to use a lighter ink. So I probably would not use this in my Stylogy, but it's a great pen for everything else. I really like the way it writes. Here's a quick look at the red. Okay, it's very similar to the black, and it's a great pen. It writes really well. Let me go ahead and do the blue as well. Okay, it's interesting. The blue and the red do tend to write a little thinner than the black one did. So that might make it a little better for possibly using in my Stylology. But definitely good for any other notebook or paper or bullet journal, any other writing that I have, like my faith journal, which if you haven't seen that, I'll link that video up above. Or, you know, I have a planner that I use just for this channel. It would be good for that. So yeah, this is a great pen. I really like it. Okay, I should say, I'll let you guys know that I went to Staples. I got most of these items at Staples, and I'll tell you what the price was for the set of 4 at Staples. So it was $6.99, and no sale. That's not the sale price. They did have like a buy one get one 25% off or something like that, but just the regular price at Staples was $6.99 for this set of 4, which I thought was a pretty good price for 4 pens. I'll definitely use them. All right, next up is a Pentel set of 3 pens. Comes in blue, red, and black. They're extra fine points, and they don't really provide the size, so I'm interested to see what actually is the size of the point. It just says extra fine. It's got a clear cap. It's got liquid ink, which means it should be more consistent. It is supposed to not bleed through and also dry very quickly. So I thought I would try these. Let me get them open. So it's Pentel Finito Extra Fine Porous Point. So I'm really interested to see. I'll say the pen itself is pretty attractive looking. It's very thick and it's heavy. It's heavier than the Sharpie S Gel or the Muji pen that I'm used to using. I do like the fact that it has the clear cap and, you know, great big clip on there. So you might have problems fitting it inside of a yeah, it's a little stretchy on this. This is a Scribbles That Matter journal, bullet journal. So it's a little, and this is the pen loop that comes with it. It's a little tight in there. So it might be too big if you had a smaller or leather pen loop that didn't have a lot of give in it. All right. So it's interesting. The tip actually looks like a marker, like a felt tip pen, but we'll see how it writes. Okay, that writes really nicely. It feels really smooth. It does feel more like a marker than a pen. I can't quite tell. It actually looks very similar to the 0.5 Sharpie Roller as far as size goes, and width, maybe even just a little bit wider. So I do like the way it writes. I mean, it's got a great point, and it feels very smooth. I don't think you would ever have to worry about the pen skipping like some gel pens that are older or, you know, not very good quality. You do have to worry about that ink skipping. I don't think that would ever be a problem because, again, this is really writing more like a marker. Okay, so I do like these pens. They are very big and very heavy. That would be the drawback for me. If I was going to write for a long time with them, I think it would start to hurt my hand, and it's really wide also. But I think they're very pretty. The ink is fantastic. It writes like a marker. It's very smooth. The size is probably between a 0.5 and a 0.7. So I don't know that I'll use these in my Stylology bullet journal, but I definitely will use them for writing anywhere else. I think they're really nice. Let me just add in one more thing. So for this pack of 3 pens at Staples, not on sale, $6.28 is what I paid, which little high for 3 pens, but you know, they are good quality pens, so I don't regret buying them. Okay, next up is Papermate Inkjoy, and I really do love Inkjoy pens. I always have. I have never actually tried the 0.5 size. I actually didn't even know that they made a 0.5 size. This may be new. I know that the formula of the ink has been recently updated to try to reduce smearing. So that's one of the things I want to try out with this new pen. I have always loved these. They write wonderful in the 0.7 size and lots of colors to choose from. So I'm excited to try out the new formula for the ink in the 0.5 size. So this pack of 3 0.5 Papermate Inkjoys was $6.49. Again, a little high, but just for Inkjoys, but they're really great pens. So depending on how they write, I think that might have been worth it, but we'll see. All right, so I just tested out the no smear ink, and I did get a little smearing there. So let me try again. Let's say I'm filling in my to-do list. It's really not that bad. It dries very quickly. You might, I mean, if you were immediately smudging or if you were left-handed and sometimes your hand ran across the words, it might be a problem. But it actually is really good. The smearing is not bad. So that's worse. So where you leave your pen on the paper and the ink kind of puddles, I think it is going to be worse. But I'll say I really like the way it writes. It is, you know, sometimes as you go down in size with these gel pens, the ink can be a little skippy. I did not feel that at all. I thought this was great. I think the size is a little smaller than the normal 0.7, 0.7. So I do like it. And I think this is a great pen. Classic black is my favorite in Papermate Inkjoy, but I know they come in a lot of colors, and I did see options for getting the 0.5 with the new ink formula in all the range of colors. I think they come in about 14 or 15 colors. So I really like this pen. I'm probably going to be working this in, and I think I may even be able to use this in my Stylology bullet journal. Okay, I saved the 4 that I'm most excited about for last. So I wanted to start out of these 4 with the Sarasa Zebra Gel Retractable pen in 0.7. It's a medium point is what they call it. No smudge, no smear, and the color is really pretty. So this is a really pretty pen, and this is one of those. Actually, with the remaining items, there is a bit of it's pretty, which is why I was attracted to it. So let me get this open and then we'll try this. Okay, so one thing right off the bat, it is fantastic that it comes with a refill. I really appreciate that. So that means I'm going to get a longer life out of this pen because it does come with a refill. The first thing I noticed about this is it's got that heavy sort of professional pen feel, but it's not too thick. Which I think there's a balance there for me. You know, if you're crazy about pens, you understand. There's a balance between a pen being very thick and being very heavy. I can stand one or the other, but I cannot stand both together. So if it's going to be a very thick pen, it cannot be a very heavy pen. That kind of drives me crazy. So for example, I have this Pilot pen, which is kind of a fancy pen. It's very thick, it's very light. This pen is actually heavier than this one, which appears to be much bigger. So, you know, right off the bat, I love the fact that it comes with the refill. I'm excited to have that. And let's see how it writes. Okay, that writes like a dream. That is so fun to write with. It feels really good. It's very smooth. It's almost like the pen is just kind of gliding across the paper, like it's not even touching the paper. The ink is really just flowing out. It's beautiful. It is very thick. So you can see the 0.7 Sharpie S Gel compared to the 0.7 Sarasa Grand. So this is definitely a thicker paper pen, something that will stand up to it like this paper. It does just fine. I don't know that I would use this on thinner paper, but wow, it's a fancy pen. It feels fancy. So for the price, this pen by itself with the refill, so kind of like 2 pens, was $7.99. Which, you know, not too bad for a fancy pen. And it does, I also forgot to mention, it does have the kind of clip that you can open up, which is handy if you want to clip multiple papers together. So I love it because it's pretty and it does write really nicely. So this is going to be a nice pen to my collection. All right, so this pen I've already been using. I ordered this pen after watching one of my favorite YouTubers who had mentioned that she had started using this pen, and I was watching how it wrote, and I just loved it. And so this is the Pentel Energel Klena, C-L-E-N-A, and it is in the size 0.4. I have been using this pen, and it came just like this, not even in a package from Amazon, and it was about $6.50 for just this one pen. I will tell you that I absolutely love this pen. I love the way it writes, and I have been using it in my Stylo A5 bullet journal. The 0.4 size is just such a fantastic size for bullet journaling and for writing on the Stylo paper. I really have enjoyed this. It's very light. It is a little bit decorative. I mean, it's in like this beige color, and it comes with the rose stripes. There's also blue stripes. I think there's gray stripes. So a couple of different options there. I mean, it's a bit expensive for a single pen, but I have really been enjoying this, and I'm probably going to purchase the refills and try to take care of the outside so that I can continue to use it and refill it. I will say the outside is not, it's not as nice or as sturdy as the Sarasa zebra pen felt. It's not, it's not going to be as long term as this, but it is very nice, and I am going to try to make it last as long as possible, and I am really enjoying the 0.4 ink size. So that's definitely a new favorite, and it's a new favorite for my Stylo bullet journal, which is really neat. All right, next up is a Pentel Energel alloy that was a limited edition. It is a 0.7 size, it's black ink, and it's gold. I mean, it's really pretty gold. And it says it's quick drying and the smoothest writing ink. So, I've had a lot of experience with Energel, and they are great pens. I love them. But it's gold. Yes, I know. I totally fell for the pretty shiny thing at the pen store and bought this one just purely based on how pretty it was. So this was $5.50 for this one pen, no refill with it. So, I could certainly buy the other Energel refills with it. But I will open this up and see how it writes. All right, so what I wasn't expecting is it actually it's got weight to it. It feels like a kind of a high-end pen, but not too heavy, but it's got a little fancy feel to it. I will also say that it's even more beautiful out of the packaging, and I will take this little tag off, but it is just so pretty. Hopefully you all can see the shiny gold of this pen. It's so pretty. If you like gold, and there were also other colors. I think there was a silver, there was a rose gold, there were some other colors, but I just thought this was so pretty. All right, let's see how it writes. Okay, it writes very well. It writes, it keeps up the expectation of, Energel pens. Okay, I really like it. I'll just say that the one thing I don't love about it, and I flipped over to a clean page to show this, when you are writing continuously and not picking your pen up, it feels great. But when you are picking up the pen each time and writing a new letter, so not in cursive, there's a little bit of movement of the ink cartridge in the pen, and just like this little noise and a little bit of movement there. And that's one of my pet peeves about pens. So I don't love it because of that. I think I could probably get over it because it's so pretty. And this will be kind of like a pen that I use just for fancy things. I do like it a lot. I don't know that it is worth the $5.50, but it's pretty. That's what I can say about this pen. All right, the last pen is really not a pen. but it is the coolest thing I've ever found. So this is a Quickie Glue Pin. And it actually has a pinpoint roller like a pen. So every now and then I have a stray rogue, a rebel sticker that will not stick down. Or I want to take like this, a paper die cut, and put it in my planner. But a glue stick or, a double-sided sticky tape, it just doesn't work. I need more precision. And so this pen is glue. And it allows you to be very precise with where you're drawing. And then look at this little tiny tail of this feather. Very precise with where you're drawing and to glue things in. This is amazing. I could not be more thrilled with this. It's Sakura is the company that makes this. I got these off Amazon and it came in a pack of 5. I don't remember what the cost was, but I'll try to find the link to them on Amazon and put that in the description box below. But I've used it already. I used it quite a bit so far, and it lasts a long time, but it's fantastic. I mean, it works. It is really good glue, and the fact that you can get it in a pen and be so precise with where you're putting the glue, as much things as I add to my planner and my bullet journal throughout the month, this has just been super handy. So even though this isn't like a writing pen, it's still a pen, and it's one of the coolest pens I've ever had. All right, so here's the lineup. What I'll say is I'm excited about all of these pens. I think these pens have different uses, and I'm definitely going to be incorporating them into my writing. The question I asked in the beginning, did I find something that might take the place of my most loved Muji and Sharpie S Gel? I think the Energel Clina definitely has the potential to take over the Muji pen. It's just fantastic. I love the way it writes. It's pretty. The Muji is so kind of utilitarian looking with the clear, and see-through and just not much going on there in the way of looks, but the Clina is gorgeous. And I love the size. It's just slightly bigger than the 0.38 at 0.04. I'm sorry, 0.4. So I really think that has the potential. As far as taking over the Sharpie S Gel 0.7, I really could see using any of these, minus the glue pen, any of these in place of this. I think they're all great pens. They write very smoothly and they feel good in the hand. The only one I think I had a little bit of a pet peeve with was the gold one, only because there's some shake and wiggle in there with the ink cartridge inside the pen holder. Other than that, all of these are great pens, and I could definitely see swapping them out for this Sharpie S Gel on a regular basis. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I have inspired you maybe to try a couple new pens or love your most beloved pen that you're currently using even more. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And as always, subscribe to Planning Annie for more content like this. Thanks for planning with me.